I want to start off the show by saying this. I've cultivated my audience. I've cultivated my followers. I've cultivated the Ben Garcia Show to be attracted to new listeners with one thing and one thing only. It's not because I have the best look. It's not because I'm the best speaker. It's not because any of those things. It's because I've always been truly authentic, truly me, and sometimes to a fault. So if what I'm about to say is authentic to a fault, let me just say I do apologize, because I don't know if what I'm about to say is too sensitive or maybe I'm just being completely naive. But as a part of Gen Z, I'm 26 years old. I'm in that group of younger, up-and-coming young adults, whether it's an athlete, whether it's a blue-collar employee, whether it's what I do, a sports talk guy, and on the side working another job. The NFL is getting their first taste of Gen Z. Now, that is a free-spirited NIL, not as money-hungry, has their bag already. If they're good enough, they secured it in college, and they're getting their first taste of the free-spirited, free type of NFL prospects that are coming into the draft. I hope that makes sense for what I'm about to say. Caleb Williams is pretty much the first Hollywood, had his bag. I think it was he made roughly $7 million a year, $3 to $7 million a year in NIL money just last season. There was a lot of speculation, like, could he even come out for the draft? Maybe he doesn't like the Bears. He's made more than enough money in NIL deals. Does he really need to go to the Bears? Maybe he just rolls the dice, makes his money in NIL, and comes back next year. And ultimately, he made the right decision. When you're the number one overall pick, when your stock could never be higher, you need to cash in on that because you never know what is behind door number 2. But here's my worry with Caleb Williams. Before I say anything, they still made the right move. They moved off of Justin Fields, who has proven nothing in the NFL. He was not a highly seen after prospect. He fell in the draft for a reason. He didn't work. I like the fit somewhat so in Pittsburgh. It's a little bit more, less dysfunctional, more of a stable head coach. I like the fit for Justin Fields. And the talent for Caleb Williams has always been there. I've never questioned Caleb Williams' talent. It's always been the emotional aspect for me. This is a guy that kind of beats to the sound of his own drum. Pretty much marches to the beat of his own drum. That's Caleb Williams. He's very Hollywood. I mean, for goodness sake, he went to USC, the most Hollywood of all Hollywood colleges. Now, there's some things with Caleb Williams that can be debated. There was rumors out there that he was going to ask for ownership of teams. That was a rumor that he was going to potentially ask for ownership of teams. He was out there crying on the field with his after the game with his mother. It was very strange. I know people will say, "Well, I can't believe you're so anti-crying." No, dude. I see a therapist every Friday. I totally understand the whole emotions aspect. People want to win. However, there's a time and a place. And Caleb Williams crying to his mom in the stands, I'll stand on it. It was just really, really strange to me. And then you had the painted fingernails, which I don't care. I don't care who paints their fingernails. Let me just put that out there now. I do not care. But doing it is sort of a kind of, look at me, I'm different. Caleb Williams just wants to be different. And I'm not so sure that's going to suit him well in the NFL. We've already had Jalen Johnson saying, hey, that college stuff, it ain't going to work. That Hollywood stuff, you're going to have to drop it. You're going to have to earn your stripes here. He's already been sent a message from the locker room. Jalen Johnson, a very high-end cornerback in the NFL. Bears fans would tell you he's the best quarterback in the NFL. And Justin Fields is already getting messages from guys like him, like, hey, man, you're going to need to earn your stripes here. That Hollywood stuff, it ain't going to cut it. And I'm not here to talk about the what some people see as feminine acts that Caleb Williams does. That is none of my business, but here's what I'll say about it. Caleb Williams is very much I want to be different guy. He goes out of his way to be different, whether it's taking pictures at the top of his skyline view penthouse in Southern California, whether it's painting his fingernails, putting F Utah on his fingernails, whether it's saying he wants ownership of teams, whether it's he shows his emotion and goes and cries to his mother in the stands when he loses in a game, his third game, in which didn't really mean anything at that point. They weren't getting into the college playoff, and they weren't likely getting in the Pac-12 championship game. Not speaking to the media after games. Then there was a point when he did speak to the media and said he just wants to go home and cry and watch movies with his dog. All things that are just strange. And then I see the picture or the video of Caleb Williams at the USC basketball game the other day. And people pointed it out. Now, I don't know if the dude is wearing lip gloss. Again, it's none of my business. Here's what I'll say about the different look that Caleb Williams puts out there. The pink phone case, the painted fingernails, the going after Jack Mack of Barstool Sports and making fun of his profile picture, and kind of showing he has bunny ears, a little bit of a maybe a little bit more sensitive Caleb Williams could be. But the issue is, I'm not so sure trying to be different like Caleb Williams does is going to work in the NFL. Now, let me just say this again. I don't care if Caleb Williams paints his nails. I don't care if he writes F Utah on his painted nails. I don't care that he has a pink cell phone case. I don't care that he had what some people said were feminine keychains. I don't care about any of that. I care strictly of what Caleb Williams can do on the field. And Caleb Williams is an elite prospect. Caleb Williams is one of the best prospects since Andrew Luck when he came out of Stanford. So I don't care about any of that. I do wonder if the way Caleb Williams conducts himself, the crying in the stands to your mother, the rumors of asking for ownership, the painting your nails, the writing F Utah on your painted nails, the flexing your penthouse on Twitter, the XYZ, the pink phone case. I don't know if Caleb Williams going out there and acting as if he just wants to be the guy who's different, wants to be the trailblazer, is going to work in the NFL. The talent has always been there. But there's a lot of talented guys in the NFL. There's just a ton of them who don't pan out due to head case issues, due to emotional issues. And Caleb Williams kind of rides the Hollywood limelight. He bathes in it. He loves it. And I'm not so sure if that's going to work in a Chicago blue-collar state that is rough-nosed, hardworking, that is not look at me. It's not flashy. It's a tough media, it's a tough fan base, and they expect a lot. And I think the Hollywood emotional act of Caleb Williams, whether it's painting your nails, whether it's the pink phone case, whether it's crying in the stands to your mother after you lose your third game, I just think it's all a little weird. And when you add all those things up, when you add them all up, when you add Jalen Johnson saying, hey, man, that Hollywood stuff, it ain't going to work here. It's not going to cut it. You're going to have to earn your stripes. There was a guy in Justin Fields that everyone loved in the locker room. You're going to have to replace that guy and now make everyone love you. Caleb Williams puts on a little bit of an off-putting tone to him. And all the things that he does, his mannerisms, the way he conducts himself, the way he seems like he's holier than thou, the way he knows how great he is, I just wonder if it's going to work in the NFL. I just do. I don't know if players are going to buy into it. I think players might seem to him as a little bit of a phony, a little bit of a look at me guy, and I just don't think that Hollywood stuff works in the NFL. Again, I don't care that he paints his nails. I don't care that he has a pink phone case. I don't care what Caleb Williams does conducting himself. I care about what he does on the field. But you do have to win over a locker room. And you do have to win over a locker room that loved Justin Fields, that was very vocal about loving Justin Fields. And I worry about the maturity of Caleb Williams when he's losing games and he's crying after a third loss that really didn't mean anything to his mother in the stands, the not talking to the media, the saying you just want to go home and eat ice cream and watch movies because you're so sad, the look at me, I painted my nails and wrote F Utah on them, the look at my pink phone case. I think the trying to go out of your way to be different, to be a trailblazer, is not the way to start your career in the NFL. I just think it's a little strange. I don't know if players in that Bears locker room are going to buy into it. It's a little off-putting to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being a little judgmental. Maybe I need a wake-up call. But this is the NFL's first look at a Gen Z quarterback who kind of marches to the beat of his own drum, who kind of does his own thing, who's very Hollywood, who has already his own money. He doesn't need more money. And I just wonder how that experiment is going to work in the NFL. Because I do have my doubts in the locker room that they're going to buy into it. I just think it's a little strange. Let me know if I'm crazy. Let me know if I'm being judgmental, because I can't be the only person who's thought this. I cannot be the only person who's thought this. I just think after all the loads of information he gets us, it's just going to be hard to get a locker room to buy into that. But still, I think he's an amazing talent. But you have to win over a locker room that loved Justin Fields.